Welcome to the Marshall News and Views Show. I'm Elaine Conyers, and I have two guests today. Both are from the Marshall Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. Here is, of course, Darren Ram, who is the director of the Marshall Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, and he brought with him a new employee who is Casey, and I'm not going to say your last name because it's hard for me to pronounce German names, I guess. I'm Norwegian. If I could put a son at the end, maybe it would work for me. But Casey is the new social media coordinator and creative specialist, and you're very new to the office, aren't you? No, you've been here for quite a while, but as in this position, this is a new position for you. Sorry about that.
No,
yes.
that's okay.
Well, I know we've got a lot to talk about today. You've been so busy over the past, well, certainly the past year with coordinating everything out at the Red Baron Arena. And you have really done a great job of getting tournaments set up for the year and all of that kind of thing. That's a big, big job.
You know, it takes a team to pull off an event like that, and we have a very good team in place, from being able to work with our associations, working with Studio One and their production crew, working with the high school and you know, the AD, making sure that everything flows just right. The other part of it that makes things a little bit more interesting is, you know, we have sponsors out there, so we have to make sure that we work with the sponsors to make sure that they're happy because they're investing a lot of money, and so we got to be cognizant of that. So there's a delicate balance out there. We're working with Chartwells to run our kitchen. It's called the Hangar.
Oh, okay.
Our concession stand. It's not just a concession stand. When you can get egg rolls and chicken strips and cheese curds, it's a lot more than just a concession stand.
That's right.
So we're working with Chartwells, and they're also here at the college doing the food service here too. So they're very new to the community. They just took over this last July, so we're working with them, working through all the bumps and trying to figure out how everybody can work together. At the old Lockwood Arena, the Booster Club was very involved with things out there. They did Whopper feeds and pork chop feeds. And so we're trying to find that delicate balance to make sure that everybody can still do what they were doing, but the new companies that are coming in, they still feel like they're valued.
Oh, of course, sure. So it's a delicate balance, and you're a good one to make all that come together.
Well, like I said, it's a learning process, and it takes a team. I wouldn't lay claim to success and for myself, and so, like I said, it's a learning curve, and you know, we've literally been open, you know, 6 months from our grand opening back in September. So we're still learning what we can do. We want to make sure that the things that we do out there, we do them well. We don't try to do something that we're not sure on how, and we want to make sure we have success out there. So little things come along. You know, in March, we'll have the Bantam A and AA state tournament.
Oh, state tournament. Wow.
Yeah, that's going to be huge for the community. We'll have 16 of the best teams in the state. And, you know, we are the state of hockey. So for us to have that tournament here, the economic impact will be, it'll be huge. You won't be able to get a hotel room within an hour of here because we'll fill up every room in Marshall, and there'll be outlying communities that will feel the effect of that tournament too.
That is just amazing, you know. I've heard for, you know, last few years, a lot of people that didn't think this was going to work, you know, and there's always that. And of course, there were those that also felt it would work, and it's really, really coming along, and that's so good to see. We've had so much progress in our Marshall area in the last 6 to 8 years. It's just really something to be proud of.
Yep, and you know, there's other things that we'd like to see come along. You know, as we try to get some of these bigger tournaments, we understand that with growth, there is change, and I know there's been some discussion on the city council level and the economic development level about maybe possibly adding a hotel and a convention
That's right.
center.
Yeah.
So we're thinking about that on the horizon, and
Yeah.
how that could affect things and how we do it with all our sports assets
That's
here in
right.
town.
Exactly. And plus, there's, vision for the future too. When I would go up to the Schwann's Arena in Blaine, where my grandsons were playing hockey, after this was maybe about 6 years ago, and after they played, I was so excited to tell them that we were going to get 2 hockey rinks in Marshall, and I went on and on, and they just sat there and looked at me, oh Nana, we've got 8 up here.
Yeah.
And I came back and I said, we got to think about that. We've got to make sure we got enough land that we could add 2 more on that main level, and then you can build up. So they made sure that that was possible, because it was going to grow.
Yep, and I'm sure, and you may have heard this from some community members, you always get feedback on things that are working well and things that aren't working well.
Oh, yeah.
And, when people walk in there, it's really cool because people's mouths just drop.
Yeah.
They cannot believe that this nice of a facility is here in Marshall.
Yes. Yeah.
And so, we hear the good things. Some of the things that we also hear, parking. Everybody wants to park right by the door.
Right.
And so as things move on out there and as things grow, the parking issue will kind of take care of itself a little
Yes.
bit. And so, as much as we'd all like to park right by the door,
That ain't gonna happen.
if that's our biggest hurdle right now is the parking side of things, I'm okay with that.
That's right. That's right. So, Casey, tell us how you're involved now and how you are promoting things for the Bureau.
Yeah, so I just kind of do some of the marketing stuff.
Oh.
We've been working on different promotional stuff, like our top 10. So this is our winter edition, just 10 different things to do in Marshall in the winter, our top 10 things.
Okay.
We do this seasonally, and we kind of switch it up every year, so we don't have
Okay.
just the same top 10 things. We're also working on a Why Marshall visitor guide. Kind of your reasons to come to Marshall, different things to do when you're here, and that gets brought to all of our different hotels.
Well, great. Yeah, that's wonderful. Could you tell me what the top things are right now?
Sure. Number 1 is sledding and snowshoeing, which you can do at Garvin or Camden State Park. Number 2 is the Speech Spectacular,
Oh, sure.
which is coming
Yep.
up here in a couple weeks. Number 3 is the Marsh, so going to any sports activities like SMSU Sports or Tiger Sports. And then number 4 is the Red Baron Arena.
Okay, sure.
So a lot of these items, Elaine, were set up to be things that you could do without having to spend a lot of money.
Oh, sure. Good.
So if you want to go do something that
Yeah.
with a family activity, or you have some time to kill, a lot of these things, which like Cassie said, are seasonal.
Yes.
So we do a seasonal list. We'll have a spring list, we'll have a summer list, we'll have
Yeah.
a fall list.
Great.
So Cassie does a nice job of making sure all that gets updated.
Good.
And she does an unbelievable job with our social media outlets. And
Okay.
as a lot of the viewers know, with social media, there's a lot of things to monitor and a lot of things to try to keep updated.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
Cassie does our Facebook pages,
Oh,
and not only do we have our, maybe you can talk about some of the different channels that we use for social media.
So for Facebook, we have a Southwest Minnesota hunting page,
Oh.
our Convention and Visitor Bureau page, our Marsh page, and then we help out with the Marshall Chamber as well.
Okay.
And the Red Bear.
And the Red Baron Arena has
yes.
its own page.
Right.
And then we have Twitter accounts for those as well, and then we have a couple Instagram accounts.
Okay.
So,
And we're waiting for you to join us.
Well, yeah.
I know you're all over social media, right, Elaine?
No, some of those things I've never heard of.
I know. But it's those kind of things that you have to be a part of to kind of to just stay in the game.
Oh, sure.
And a lot of that is valuable mentions for names, having our name out there. It's a very inexpensive way of advertising.
Okay.
So now they're even changing it up a little bit, so you can spend money on some of that stuff to reach a bigger audience and really get your message out to a real target audience. So
Okay.
we're working through some of that, and we do a few things like that. We've had some posts on our Facebook page where we've had reach over 30,000 people.
Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah.
it's little, and you got to be good at what you do when you're going to
sure.
reach out to that many people. It's
That's
got to
right.
look nice. It's got to have a good message, and Cassie does a great job of making sure that we have that delicate balance.
Well, wonderful. And it sounds like you enjoy what you're doing too. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, there's a lot of, just walking into the Chamber and Visitors Bureau office there, it's just always it's so upbeat.
It's a
You know,
great
it's
working
just
environment.
it is.
It's a good back and forth between the chamber, the CVB, economic development. And that's always half the battle, is wanting to go to work.
Oh yeah,
You know,
right, sure.
And I've never had a day yet where I haven't looked forward to going to work. So
that's great.
That's
That's great.
that's half the battle when
Yeah.
you enjoy walking through the door each morning.
Exactly. So.
Some of the other things that we have coming up on the horizon, the 2017 Governor's Pheasant Opener was just announced,
Okay.
and we're going to be hosting that in Marshall come October.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a big deal.
Yes.
Karen Van Coolen will be intricately involved in that from the chamber side of things. She
Okay.
was here when they had the previous Governor's Pheasant Opener.
Okay.
So she'll run point for that. It's a lot of work behind the scenes that
Oh,
goes
I
into
bet.
that.
I bet.
But it's great for the community. It really draws attention to hunting
Mm-hmm.
in southwest Minnesota as an economic tool. So
Sure.
I think people really underestimate the amount of money that gets spent through a hunting season,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be pheasant, deer. We do even have some fishing
Oh.
tourism in the area, even though we don't have a lake in Marshall.
Yeah.
Well, you said we have Lake Marshall, right?
Well, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There. And I always say, since we changed the name to Marshall area, when people tell me that, oh, you don't even have a lake there. Oh, we've got one at Cottonwood and at Chautauqua. And,
Yeah, yep. It's
this
just
is
down the
area
road,
now.
right?
Yeah.
So that'll be a big thing for us. A lot of work will go into that. A couple other things that we have going on that we're gearing up for. Pheasant Fest is going to be up. It's actually Pheasant and Quail Fest will be in Minneapolis this year in February. So we've partnered with Nobles County and Murray County to promote Southwest Minnesota as a region for hunting.
Oh, good.
So we'll
Yeah.
have a booth up there for that,
Yeah.
and we'll try to get our message out. Cassie's been working hard on that too. And then in March, we have a booth at the Let's Play Hockey Expo up at the state hockey tournament.
Oh,
And that's in
okay,
March.
in March, okay.
Yep, and there'll be literally, without exaggeration, 70 to 80,000 people go through that show every year. It's a free show. So we'll be having tons of information
Yeah.
about the Red Baron Arena,
Right.
all the hockey tournaments that the local hockey association puts on,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll have some other information there too about.
Now, where's that going to be at? Did you say the
Hockey Expo is at the Roy Wilkins Auditorium, which is right next to the XL Energy Center.
Oh,
And
okay.
Pheasant Fest, which is in February, that'll be at the Minneapolis Convention Center.
Okay, okay. So, yeah, that's going to be wonderful.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of things going on, that's for sure. And I mean, you got other things you can tell us about too.
Oh, sure. So as part of the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and Cassie kind of touched on it a little bit, we have a new guide that we've started last year. It's called Why Marshall. It's a little bit
Okay.
different from the community guide.
Oh, okay.
It's geared more for short-term visitors,
Oh,
people that are coming for a weekend, or they're staying at a hotel. Maybe they're not that person who's looking to move to Marshall,
yeah.
but they want to know what to do while they're here.
Yeah.
So Cassie's done a great job of that. It's kind of Why Marshall 2.0. We started it last year. We did some updates to it, and it really has turned out to be a valuable resource
Well,
for
sure.
to have at the hotels, along with some of our other promotional material that we
sure.
have.
Yeah.
But so that's a big project in itself,
Oh,
trying to
of
make sure that we get the right information into that for visitors.
That's such a good idea to have something like that at the hotels, so that, because, you know, a lot of people yet have not even heard of Marshall probably, you know. It's
they're-
like, you know, when I worked up in the cities, that they always referred to outstate,
Yeah.
you know, outstate people.
Now the term is Greater Minnesota.
That's right, and I'm
Yeah.
glad they changed that.
And boy, are we great,
Yes,
right?
we are. But the thing is that, like you say, people come to stay for overnight or for a weekend. There is information for them so they know what they can do. We're not just a town sitting out here doing nothing.
That's right. You know, one thing I forgot to mention too is with the Red Baron Arena, a lot of attention has been drawn to the Red Baron Arena. And if Cassidy wants to hold up, the Red Baron Arena was featured on the cover of Rink magazine. The title was The Main Event.
Oh.
And so they did a nice expose
Yes.
on the Red Baron Arena. We did a couple phone interviews with Emily at Rink magazine, and she did a real nice job on that.
Okay, and then the main event you're referring to then is just
That's just what she
just
titled the article.
Yeah,
yep.
okay.
And then, as a lot of our viewers know, and I don't know if you know or not, but WCCO always does WCCO TV. They always do a best of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were nominated for the best hockey rink in Minnesota,
Yeah.
and we won. We
That's
were
right.
voted the best hockey rink in
Yes.
the state of hockey.
Yeah.
So they came out and did a really cool. They spent about 3 hours interviewing people and
Yeah.
doing some shots, and condensed it down into a 3-minute shoot.
Yeah.
And we were voted the best hockey rink in Minnesota. So
that
that's
wonderful?
you know, a lot of credit goes to the people that put all the time and energy into the arena.
Yeah.
All the meetings and all the backroom things where people met and
Yes.
hammering things out, and
Yeah.
so all that hard work is really paying off.
Yes.
We're getting a lot of attention. We've had phone calls from other hockey or other communities now that have heard about the Red Baron Arena and Expo. They want to know, how did you do it?
Yeah.
What
Oh.
all went into that?
Yeah.
We've had communities from Elk River call. We had a Mason City, Iowa called. They want to know about the rink and the process. So a lot of good synergy already
Yes.
with the Red Baron
Sure.
Arena.
Yeah, that's wonderful, because to get that word out is just so important, and it keeps us a regional center. You know,
Yeah, it does.
really does, because people keep looking ahead with their and have vision for the future, and and then to promote it like this is just fantastic. So that's all very exciting, and now you've got all the hockey events lined up, and then how will you use the rinks come summer?
So that's a good question too, and we're working with our sponsors to make sure that we don't leave them behind. So we're working with partners like Avera, Action Track Chair,
Oh, yeah.
Lockwood Motor Company. We really want to kind of educate them on how they can use the facility. The Schwann Food Company, they're going to be doing some things this summer in there. I really want to be strategic about making sure that what works best for them, and then we can work some other things around those dates. We really want to make sure that they get the first
Yes.
crack at things. And you know, we're still trying to figure out how to use the facility. We've never had a facility to practice with before.
Right.
So there's a lot of unknowns that go with it, from electricals to sound and video. You know, all those things we need to learn.
Sure.
And so we got to be careful that we don't try to move too fast in some of those things.
Oh yeah, I suppose. And then the thing is too, you will keep one arena just for with ice on,
Yep,
right? But
good.
then the other one, you'll have a lot of home shows and things like that, right?
Yep,
And
so-
what you talk about, like Wishwan's having something there and everything, that's to use that.
Yep, so the Lockwood
space.
side, that'll be year-round ice.
Uh-huh.
And then after the Bantam AA tournament, the figure skating, they have their show at the end of the year. So we'll have about a week before the last event to our first expo usage.
wow.
So
Yeah.
Cody and his staff have been great out there. Preston, they're going to really be challenged at the end of the year to make sure they get the ice off as fast as
Sure.
possible, and we'll kind of hit the ground running for the summer.
Yeah. Oh, it just sounds very exciting, and it's just wonderful to drive by there and see all the corners have all filled up now.
Yeah, right.
At the intersection, and that's wonderful, and it really shows progress, and people like you that can come in to the community and really make a difference.
And
we really
I want to say
appreciate
that you need to be thanked publicly too for all the work that you did on the council while you were there. So you were a very important part of all this process. So I know everybody appreciates all the work that you put into all the meetings and all the votes that you had to do and all the phone calls you fielded. So thank you for all the work that you did.
Well, that's very kind of you to say that. I enjoyed every minute of it, I'll tell you. And I'm going to miss it, but that's the way it is.
You did your civic duty, right?
Okay. Well, this is great, and I guess we're going to have to come to an end here. We could just go on and on, but we'll have you back. You know
Yes.
that. We always come back. So
We look
thank
forward
you.
to coming here.
All right. Thank you both.
Yep.
Thank you.